Hello, I'm wearing a funny thing. I'll explain it in a moment. Thursday, December 6th, 2012. Uh, I'm so frustrated and overwhelmed. Uh, each day has been going by as if it took minutes. There's so much to do in government. There's so much to do. There's so much that needs to be done properly. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be just ripped apart and replaced and rethought out and reinvented and um, it's questionable if we have enough people to actually fix the government. Um, uh, I've been kind of. I went to the Bergen. There's this meeting. Basically, I live in the county of Bergen, and what that means is, basically, there's four governments that I live under. There's four, like, groups of dictators that I have to deal with. Uh, so there's a county government, and the county government is like a you have the local government, and then right above the local government you have the county government, which is a collection of in our case we have 70 local governments, and this county government is like the head of these local governments. And it wants to do stuff, and it tells the local governments what to do, and it tells the state government what to do, and it does its own thing. It's a self it exists out of self-interest. Uh, so they do these meetings every 2 weeks because the people who are in charge of the county government, well, there's many people. Some of them are elected. You have county freeholders, Bergen freeholders, and they do a meeting every 2 weeks, and they allow people to come in there and say some stuff, grievances or some issues that need to be resolved or whatever. It's questionable if anything's ever done from the people coming up there and saying anything, because just I'm just judging. No, I'm not judging them, but I'm assessing them on their manner and the way that they handle and present themselves. So they don't seem like they do very much as people, and they don't seem to know very much as people. They have their own agenda in place that they're whatever, whatever it may be. I don't think they're bad people. They're not very. They're just not a. They're very Ex- it's hard. I don't know. They just kind of bought into this way of doing things. So, like for instance, let me give you an example. If you bear with me one moment. No, the hair thing. It's for my hair is getting longer, so I'm trying to like I think it's I'm gonna try it. See if it dries out like this. Maybe it might look better. Um, Basically, I've been getting a lot of information from the government. Ha 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 ha. And one of the things I got was the administrative code for the county of Bergen. And you see, this is all everything how government is supposed to run is in here. And it's a pretty difficult read and explains everything. I didn't read over it, all of it exactly. But this is like the code book. This is the administrative code. So it talks about a board of chosen freeholders. Then there's this county executive, which is like a governor or a mayor or a president. So, because there's only one of this, and then they have like this. I don't know what they do. It's nonsense what they do. To be quite honest, I don't know what they do. Uh, quite honestly, I've been kind of going there trying to figure out what is they're trying to do. You know, why are they there? What are they trying to do? because it's not that they're there to represent or to accomplish anything for the general public. Uh, they are doing some stuff for people, yes, I'll say that, but who and why? Only a few people. Um, it's like a self. It exists out of self-interest. So, like with this, something like this, it's very questionable if any of them have it right or memorized and follow it to the letter. Uh, Now check this out, what else I got. So this is also the budget for 2012, and I have the budget for 2011, and this is, God knows how many pages. A lot of pages. Maybe like 80 pages. And it's all very complicated to understand what's happening here. It needs to be simple. I'm looking at all these places and money, and it needs to be connected. Somebody needs to sit there and actually uh, assess it and create like a nice, what the hell is this? Like, what the hell is this? It's a bunch of numbers and a bunch of names. Makes no sense. Because you have to, I mean, that's how you bring transparency to the system, because there isn't any. This is all that the public gets. This is it. From this you have to figure out, like, and be like, oh, okay, there's no theft. um, I have in here, I have thousands of documents that need to be assessed and analyzed. I mean, they need to be analyzed, and some sort of summary. I need to create like some sort of summary so I can get a better understanding for myself and to present it to people, and to government maybe. A voting results tells you how many people voted each year for who and from what location, and talks about there's a lot of positions that people didn't run for, and there's no competition. People just live in these positions, and that just drives me nuts that people live in government. You shouldn't live in government. Just, I don't know, maybe I'll be living there one day, and I'll think otherwise. But no, you have to have term limits. There's no term limits. It's really bad. I've been so overwhelmed with this part. I don't know why I even got myself involved with this. Well, I knew why, but I need to get a better assessment of this county government, because it's just this big engine that just does its own thing. Bigger, obviously the federal government is a bigger engine, the state government is a smaller engine, the federal government is bigger than the county government. Um, mm, so I've been going to, I also, the day before, I went to the Bergen County Board of Social Services, and I tried to say something about, well, the direction of this agency, the direction that for welfare in America should be going, at least like locally, like this is it. Like it's not, oh, it's the federal government. No, no, no. It's all on the local and county level. They just take the federal money. Well, the federal money has to, well, they need the money, but they're just not spending it correctly. It's I still don't have quite an assessment or an understanding what the hell it is. I'm still on the fence of it just simply being like a dispensary for food stamps and living assistance and nothing more. Um, I've been kind of, I think I've been on the brink of madness with just the nonsense of all this and the redundancy. There's just so much redundancy. And when you approach this redundancy, you realize that people have jobs. Without this redundancy, these people would be on the street with no work, no substance, no way to pay for food or for their shelter or for whatever. And that's going to be a very difficult thing to address and to resolve. Because by simplifying government, a lot of people are going to lose jobs. It's a given. But it's one thing when you look at them, when you see the people, and you see some of the people really care about what they do, and they have a lot of contribution. They make a lot of contribution in what they do. Fine, keep those. But then you see the people who don't, and then you kind of feel like, all right, well, we'll fire them, and then that's it. That's the end of their life, for the most part, because there's no one. It's probably no one's ever going to fire them because they have no skills. We just kind of came to that somehow. A lot of people don't have any skills. They don't have any. They don't have anything that they can do. Like something, I don't know, anything. Like I could, I could sit there and write poetry. Okay, well, that's what if that's what I have to do, I'll sit there and write poetry. I was thinking about yesterday though. I saw the assemblywoman who would be my competitor for this position that I'm planning to run for. I don't want to talk about all this. There's just so much nonsense in all of this. I can't believe people allowed this to happen. Just like the American people allowed this to happen by not participating, by not being educated, but simply by accepting everything that's been told to them all their life. Their whole lives, they've been told this nonsense, and at the end of the day, it's nonsense. There's let me give you some cases. Let me give you an example at least, so you know what I'm saying. So maybe you can, if you're like, what are you talking about, Ollie? There was a guy in the county freeholder board, and he was touting his horn. You know, oh, Bergen County is fiscally responsible. We have a AAA rating from Moody's. Moody's is a company like Standard & Poor, which assess companies, private companies, and governments. I don't know why governments, but and they give them credit ratings. And he was touting his horn that Bergen County has a AAA credit rating, but Bergen County is also in debt. So I don't know why is it of any. What does credit have to do with government? I mean, in today's, it shouldn't. I mean, it should not have to. Like the government. This is how much money you have. This is how much money. That's it. Don't borrow any money. I mean, you have to. Maybe the federal government is allowed to because there's war, and they need to raise money to defend. But there's no plan to pay off any of this debt. I don't think there's a plan. As of today, there's no plan to pay off any of this debt, and they just and I don't think they care because they're gonna be dying soon. And it's like, oh, okay, it's for me to figure out. Well, thank you. None of it's very easy though, so I can't just call them like blah 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 blah. Um, I just don't know what to do. Quite honestly, I don't know what to do. I'm tired. In regards to the website, share the first. That's been going. I'm kind of happy a little bit. I'm working on it. Uh, sorry, I'm gonna just. I've been getting distracted a lot, like sidetracked into a lot of different things. I got myself a printer. It's a temporary printer. I discovered that it'd be best for me to do my own printing. Uh, I'm just so tired. It's 12:20 p.m. I need to find a way so I can relax and unwind and kind of reset myself, or just I don't know what to do. I mean, I'm getting better at speaking, going up there and speaking, so that's a plus. So some skill is rising in that. My new home should be ready soon. The renovations are done soon, and then I have to uh, move everything. It's gonna be so hard. It's gonna be very hard to move everything. Uh, I ordered something like this, but Wikipedia. I have it. Show it. I was looking at the Wikipedia website, and I was thinking to myself, um, that I want to donate money to Wikipedia because I use it from time to time, and I like to do that kind of stuff. And I wanted to donate some money, so I figured I investigated a little bit, and I could buy something from them. It's a little expensive, but the profits go to Wikipedia, so that's why it's expensive. So I got myself a sweater, and look, it has a globe. So globes. So Wikipedia, Google, and now Share the First are globe organizations. They're global. And on the back of it, it has all the Wikipedias in like 40 or 60 different languages. I didn't get to show you the temporary printer that I'm using, that I found in like a side venture that I'm doing, hoping to make some money on. Um, there's just a lot of like stuff that needs to be sorted out and sold. Um, It seems like when they speak, though, these full freeholders, like, they put on like a show sometimes. Um, they're just saying, sometimes they're saying stuff just for the hell of saying it. That's really bothering me. Basically, they talk too much. And no use to it. Oh, I might get involved with, yesterday at the freeholder meeting, there was a group of Bergen Community College students that went there. I attended Bergen Community College and I graduated. They were part of the student council. There was a president, and they were just part of the student government. And I went up there and I said something, not to them, to the board. And obviously, I was, you know, I just need to get better at it. I think I let them get away with, like, I need to get up there. I need to tell them a lot of information, and they kind of just disregard me a little bit. I don't know. So, I was speaking to them about the woman who has been protesting outside the White House. And the students overheard that, and they found it of interest as well. And then I told them that you only need to be 18 years of age to be where they are, or a mayor or a council. So I'm thinking about seeing when they do their meetings and going up there and really like kind of encouraging them to get into council or mayor or Bergen freeholder or any public office position instead of I would think some of their plans are to transfer to a four-year university or master's, but they're educated people. At least just encourage them. I think they were very good. I like to do that kind of stuff. I like to encourage younger people than me. A lot of people say that though, especially in government. I was having a conversation that we need to do more for our youth, we need to do more for our students, but then nothing really gets done. If you, I mean, really think about it. The freeholders, one of them was complaining about, there's a lot of work to be done, blah 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 blah, and people, and then people are like, hey, I want to do it, and then they ask, oh, how much do I get paid? And then that's where the conversation just goes downhill, because a lot of these things that need to be done in government, they're not, you don't get paid, and I think you should get paid. Not a lot. Like $10 an hour, I think, would be good for a student in college, to be a student in college and then be involved in government and somehow and contributing their understanding of society and their anticipated needs would be facilitated in the government, and their basically unbiased and uncorrupted perspective is going to be very, very useful. I've been really fighting really strong to resist this cynical approach. Like, oh, well, that's the problem. No, we're the problem. And not kind of like we're the problem, but to kind of conclude that these people are of no hope and of no use. Therefore, it would be a waste of my time and a waste of anybody's time to get involved with, or to, yeah, I guess cynical. I don't know, I can't explain it. I'm tired. My brain hurts so much. I've been having headaches for a week. Yesterday at the freeholder meeting, I was sitting down and I was hoping to, when I was, waiting in line to speak, there was like a moment where I got dizzy and I got scared. And I thought to myself, God forbid I go up there, I say something and I pass out, because I'm still nervous going up there and speaking. I'm not used to this kind of stuff. It's such a hostile environment. It's not very encouraging. It doesn't seem very comfortable or safe. It's such a volatile environment. They have arguments, and sometimes they yell at each other and no reason. Not like, it's reasonable for a citizen to go up there and go ba 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 ba, But the problem is sometimes they go back, and then what the hell? You're not supposed to do that kind of stuff. You're supposed to be professional. You sit there and observe and like. I've been trying to get Alex or Oleg involved, or anyone for that matter. And people I meet outside, I try to talk to them like, hey, do this, get involved. Time to time to build a nation. Time to, you know. Uh, ah, this is what I'm resisting acceptance of the hopelessness of the situation because it seems very bleak, very, very bleak. It's just like the atmosphere. Uh, that's the perception, my perception. And perception is very important. Your perspective, and how you view the world, how you view government, how you view people, and how you view your life is very important to you internally. The way I see things and the way I think about things is very different than what somebody else might think of something. It's not absolute, but it's important. I didn't get to fully tell him what I wanted to tell him yesterday. There's a whole list, so I'm thinking of kind of I need to wrap this up a little bit, and I need to. Yeah, this is what they tell me when I go up there to tell them very important. So can you wrap this up? Can you wrap this up? They're not listening to what I have to say, or they're not. It's something I need to get better at, yeah, in time, or maybe it's better. I don't know. I need to start letting go of things. I need to let it go and focus on something. Uh, there's just so much that I've been doing that it's really hard for me to even kind of like calm down. And somewhere in the midst of all this madness that I'm involved with, like I would still like to maybe find a girlfriend. So it's such a it's a test though. I mean, it's not a test, it's a challenge. I need to kind of overcome this very, very quickly and very in a very, very short amount of time. Um, you know, it's not a good idea to dwell on, things happen. Boom. What are you gonna do about it? You know. There's a point I wanted to make before. Okay, I wanted to wrap this up. Um, I forgot. I'm sorry. This is so disorganized. I'm just gonna title this. Um, I don't know what I'm gonna title this. The idea here is as well, like there's a like a greater idea in all of this is uh, somebody in government who's already in government should be well aware this is happening. This madness, this inefficiency, and this unproductivity, and this redundancy and this apathy and the disconnect between people and government. They should be aware, and they should be trying. Somebody should be trying to do something who's really inside of it, not somebody who's outside of it trying to do something about it inside of it, while at the same time trying to get inside of it. uh, there's a very important point I wanted to make when I said I'm going to wrap this up before I sidetracked it into. This is why it's good that I've been writing, so at least I could sit there and think about what I'm saying and then press publish, as opposed to do this. And there's so much confusion in all of this, probably. I guess the perfect title is The Frustration. I'm just frustrated. Uh, this is frustration. Maybe this is how frustration feels like. Uh, I feel like I'm bumping my head against this box right here. All the angles. This one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. And I'm trying to figure out how to get inside this box by doing that. And I mean, just like for me to get this wasn't like a simple A and B's thing. Like, I should have talked about how, in order for me to have gotten these documents and these CDs and more documents that I need to pick up, like after I get myself together and I write something, or maybe dress up a little bit. That wasn't easy. There was nothing easy about that. But I'm it's my right. It's my right as a citizen to have this, to be able to get this. But it was so complicated to get it. Like, oh my god, I forgot how complicated it was for me to have gotten this. It took me about 2 months trying to like. Well, I initially began 2 months ago trying to get this, but then I put it on hold, and then I kind of ended up doing a lot more research somehow, and I kind of figured out the proper way and to who I need to speak to and what the proper words are to say, like what I need. And I was fortunate that there was an employee there who was very helpful. Like, without her going beyond my expectations of the everyday um, observance of government employees and their, I guess, their complacency of, eh, another day, kind of like that. All right, I don't know what this nonsense is all about. But I'm trying to do something to fix all this, for what it's worth. Adios.